The NBA scandal just keeps getting worse, and now experts are telling Disney, get out of ESPN Bet as fast as you can. It would cost Bob Iger billions of dollars. Is he willing to do it? How would shareholders respond? We've got answers, and we'll tell you why this is far beyond now just the NBA. Hello, welcome back, one and all. Thank you for heeding the call when it comes to understanding entertainment. We'll keep you ahead of the culture curve. Folks, as we dive in, click the like button, and you have never heard of such corruption as is bubbling up across the sports world. It could sink ESPN and their big NFL deal. The feds involved every step of the way. It's not a hip hip hooray kind of day for Bob Iger. We'll tell you why right now. Embattled former NBA star Gilbert Arenas, once of the Wizards, denies snitching in latest gambling probe. There's another one. Ryan Morick has this one. After Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones were arrested last week due to their own alleged involvement in illegal gambling, speculation went around that Gilbert Arenas cooperated with authorities to implicate the NBA figures. The former NBA star, who found himself in trouble during his playing days, was accused earlier this year of operating an illegal gambling ring from a home he owned in Southern California. Shortly after his July arrest, Arenas, who pleaded not guilty, admitted that he would be snitching. But in a live stream on Friday, he reiterated he would only do so in his own case. There's Gilbert. Pretty good player. I don't remember if he was a tall I think he was tall for a point guard, but he may have played shooting guard some. Thus, Arenas denied any involvement in the most recent case. I don't know what this got to do with my case, Arenas said. I don't think you just walk around telling them cases you don't know. My case is different. I don't know what my case has to do with blankety blanks. That's gambling and giving information on NBA games. How does that have to do with me? Common sense is common sense. This is a whole different breed of blankety blank. This blankety blank has its own name. Mine didn't have no operation name, Arenas added, referencing that Rozier and Jones were arrested in Operation Nothing But Bet. ESPN Bet.
Oh, no.
And Billups and Jones were arrested in Operation Royal Flush. Oh, this is so bad. So more, folks. We got more going on right now. And Terry Rozier, his lawyer, is making a stunning statement. Get ready for this one. It's out of heavy.com. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier's attorney pushed back Tuesday against allegations that his client provided inside information to bettors in one of the largest federal sports betting investigations in NBA history. Might get much bigger. In an interview with Fox News Channel's The Will Cain Show, attorney Jim Trusty, which that is the best name for both an attorney, an accountant, and a used car salesman. You can't beat Trusty. Acknowledged that Rozier discussed his injury with a childhood friend, but insisted that the conversation was personal, not criminal. Rozier, 31, is accused of giving non-public health information to his friend De Niro Laster before a March 2023 game while he was still playing for the Charlotte Hornets. In the unsealed indictments reviewed by Heavy Sports, federal prosecutors allege that Rozier told Laster he planned to leave the game early because of a lingering foot injury. Laster then allegedly sold the information to bettors for roughly $100,000 before Rozier exited the game just 9 minutes later. Now, it goes on to say, he just told a friend. It's not on him. According to the federal indictment, however, everybody's presumed innocent until they're proven guilty in a court of law. According to the federal indictment, however, Rozier allegedly paid for Laster's travel to Philadelphia, where Laster collected the proceeds of the bet. Prosecutors said Laster later drove to Rozier's home, where the two counted the cash together. Oh, boy.
But you say it's just a friend, but you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you.
From Awful Announcing, Craig Carton, this is what you need to know. The experts are now saying, hey, Disney, you got to get out of this. ESPN needs to divest from ESPN Bet immediately. And this is on the money. Sean Keeley says critics have long known that the incestuous relationship between sports leagues, sports networks, and sports betting companies is a problem. Craig Carton thinks ESPN would be wise to put some separation between itself and its gambling partner before it spells major disaster, a.k.a. this is Disney. Disney owns ESPN. 1/3 of Disney now is live sports. Carton would know all too well about the perils of gambling, goes on to talk about him being arrested and spending time in jail over it. But here's what he says about this, and when he talks about it, folks, he's going to talk about the NFL. This is not what Disney wants anybody to know about. We'll pause this because he's talking, and I don't want him to talk yet. since I don't have his audio on. But he's going to talk about the NFL. Disney doesn't want this connected with the NFL. Here we go.
Immediately from ESPN Bet, and here's why. The NFL owns a piece of ESPN, meaning by default, they own a piece of the sports book. Well, you can't have it both ways, because if the NFL benefits from you losing your wager, then they're incentivized to control the outcome of games because it means more money in their pockets.
Yes.
Meaning they have a financially vested interest now in you losing whatever wager you make on NFL games. Meaning it's more likely for someone to say, hey, if there's a gazillion dollars on team X to cover, it's in our best interest that they don't cover. Make sure the referees call a game a certain way.
Yes.
Now, I'm taking liberties there, of course,
right.
But that's the problem. When you want people to never question your integrity, you can't own a piece of a sports book, and they do. Number two, if you're an...
Okay, let's talk about that first. Kevin, let me go to you. This is getting messy because this is Disney and the NFL. We all know that Disney is trying to get the NFL to be 10% owner of ESPN so that Disney and ESPN can be the official partners of the NFL and have the official NFL fantasy leagues and official NFL betting embedded directly into ESPN. And now this is being called out with what's going on with the NBA, which we believe is going to go far beyond the NBA. We'll talk about that in just a minute. We've got more on it. Kevin, your thoughts on this idea that if this plays out, if the feds allow it, and they might not, billions and billions of dollars on the line, Disney, ESPN, and the NFL become vested in the sports book, into the bookies, essentially, of gambling.
Yeah, we called this months ago when Disney started talking about how they were making the NFL deal. We called this here the night that story broke. It did not take a mathematician to realize that that the math wasn't mathing here. They were going down a very dubious road, and frankly, there should have been a lot of ethical questions that should have been raised and addressed before they even pretended to get to this point. At the end of the day, like I said on Monday, a lot of people owe Pete Rose a really big apology because he did not do anything remotely close to this. This is disgusting. And the fact that now it's going to take government intervention because, a crime ring popped up. Listen, at the end of the day, you could be the simplest of jacks and understood that this was going to be a problem. You can have first of all, it was absurd that a major sports league would have a vested interest in the news outlet that's supposed to objectively report on the deeds, behaviors, actions, and future of a sports league. And now you're tying it all to betting. This is crazy. This should have never gotten this far. And although I am not one who believes in government intervention, I want government out of all of my things. Someone needs to be answering a lot of very serious questions.
Well, there's going to be some serious questions answered, and we're going to go back to that video, folks. I promise. We're going to play more of it because it's fantastic. But I just want to show this to you, too. Outkick has this one coming out October 28th. The NCAA is having second thoughts on allowing athletes to bet on pro sports after the NBA scandal. Wow, shocker. So now the NCAA is, and I think the SEC has heavily pushed them now to get rid of this as fast as they can. I'm telling you, this is growing and growing. The NCAA permanently suspended 3 basketball players in gambling probe that involved Fresno State and San Jose. The ways in which they gambled is fascinating, given how hard investigators are looking for these problems. There is a huge effort now to make it official that college athletes can't participate in betting. But Disney's plan appears to be to raise these kids on Mickey diapers, and then as soon as they're 18, say, hey, stay on that Disney Plus app because check it out. You can bet on so-and-so in the fourth quarter of such and such game and win some money. Would you like some money? We'd love to give you some money, but in the end, we'll get the money. That's the plan here. Ron, your thoughts on the NCAA joining in now and saying, ruh-roh, get out of this.
It's very, very strange to me. And my mind keeps going to politics. Just this whole thing makes me think of Nancy Pelosi and insider trading. It's just it feels very, very much the same. Because when you're in this and you have insider knowledge, this is. I mean,
and yet, in this case, Ron, Disney has staked its future on it.
Yeah,
1/3 of Disney is based on this, and that 1/3 is hoping and praying in every possible way that they get the NFL and betting embedded into their app late next year or early in 2027, and that's what they've told shareholders is the big kahuna they're going to bring to them.
But what would have me worried is Disney's track record with everything else. I mean, it makes me wonder, first of all, are they doing this because they have such a bad track record? They're not making money on their movies. They're losing money at the box office. The parks aren't doing as well as they should be doing by any means, and that's their bread and butter. They're manipulating numbers. We've seen that to say which park is really the busiest when it's not the busiest, and all of this rigmarole. And now you want to involve gambling and betting, and I'm like, I don't understand what has happened to the Disney company under Bob Iger, other than it's just there's no creativity in the company left at all. And this is what happens. You fall and you fall and you fall and you fall down to the point where all you have left is basically becoming a corporate version of the old Italian mafia in Las Vegas.
Well, and they're connected apparently.
Yeah, that's true. But let me introduce a new idea to this conversation. This is going to blow your mind. We are in the middle of a problem for all these leagues now that are being associated with this scandal because it's bigger. It's the tip of the iceberg. I think Pro has said that before.
Class action lawsuits are. I would be shocked if we don't have massive class action lawsuits on this.
And as much as we focus on Disney for good reason, that's kind of one of the primary things we talk about here. It isn't just a Disney issue. It's all of these leagues issue because they enjoy something, the 5 leagues that we have here in the United States, an antitrust exemption so that they can even exist because of the way that they dole out the teams and everything else associated with it, including separate.
Well, at least the MLB for sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, and so the NBA specifically, the NFL, they all have an antitrust exemption.
What about the what's the new baseball game they're playing out there, Culture? What is that thing? Banana ball? Banana ball. If they get an antitrust yet, we need to get them.
I don't know about that, but pickleball's the thing. But what I will tell you is, like, right now in professional sports, you have 5 leagues that enjoy this exemption, and they're putting it on the line to put these betting things in places. And if they become part, and this is what the video Pro is going to show us some more of, is actually, it's a very pointed target that this guy's talking about. These leagues are in big trouble because they're making all these deals that could make them a part of the betting apparatus, which is bad. And in partnership with Disney, who has ESPN Bet, Disney needs to get OWT. That's the old-fashioned way for saying out.
Yeah, well, if Adam Silver is nervous, Roger Goodell is going to be nervous as well.
He's got to be freaking.
Here's what we've got, folks. More from Craig Carton.
If you're an on-air personality at ESPN, you should not be allowed to market picks or suggest people follow your picks because as an employee of now the NFL, you have access to inside information. Your employer does better when they make...
Just hold it a minute. I can't handle this. He's making too much sense, and this is going to hurt Disney way too much. Guys, had you thought about this? If ESPN and the NFL become one and the same, and if ESPN is running shows where they're telling you, their analysis for gambling, hey, Disney, you're a kid's company for sure now. Family friendly? I don't think so. If that's what's happening, this guy is making the insider trading claim. We are in wild territory.
It's worse because they have dedicated fantasy football shows, which have enormous payouts at the end of the year. This is terrible.
A little bit more, and then we get Vash in. A little bit more.
Make more money, giving you a chance to make more money. So you're now vested in people following your picks and losing.
Oh, man. Vash, go ahead.
I mean, look, SportsCenter has, I think, betting or gambling segments on their shows, and obviously ESPN has a couple of tickers or trackers or whatever. I mean, they've invested heavily into this. This is something that they've wanted to incorporate into their digital platforms. But having this relationship with the NFL, I mean, it's just there's too much money changing hands for something not to be affected by this. It just is. Look, if it's like, okay, well, the point spread is, within 3 points, and let's see if the guy actually makes the field goal. I mean, look, nobody talks about the long snapper, okay? Long snapper is the most thankless job ever when you think about it, right? Because you screw that up, everybody hates you. You get it right, nobody even thinks about you. But think about that. That guy's probably making what, league minimum right there? A couple bucks here or there. Now you miss a field goal.
This is what people don't understand. It's not necessarily about throwing games. What Disney is asking the federal government to approve for them when they want the NFL and Disney to merge to some degree, what they're asking for is the ability to put straight into the ESPN app while you're watching it on your TV. They want to be able to put that in front of your 18-year-old, who's still living at home, getting ready to go to college. They want to put in the fourth quarter of a game that nobody's paying attention to anymore, so the ratings are crashing. But they want you to keep watching it. So they put up, let's say, in the fourth quarter, this is theoretical, but they put up in the fourth quarter, how many points will you go back to him? Gilbert Arenas score in the fourth. Now he's retired. How many points will he score? Right. So the idea there is that you have these micro bets, and you can put vast and addictive money into these micro bets that are dynamically picked during the game based on the situation of the game. And then they're asking the feds to do this at the same time, guys, that the feds are investigating and figuring out, holy smokes, our professional sports are filled with corruption and the freaking mafia.
Well, I mean,
people can bet on, in the Super Bowl, like if it's going to be heads or tails. Like it's all kinds of crazy bets out there, all kinds of crazy prop bets. And it's going to be very, very difficult to get this through the feds if they're investigating to this extent and are seeing the corruption firsthand.
And Vash, Disney bet billions. Disney bet billions on the feds agreeing to this.
It ain't happening, Vash. It ain't happening.
I mean, this is what they're banking on. And this is going back to the Chapek era, by the way, too. This is back 2020, 2021 is when they wanted this. This has been works for a long time. Go ahead, Kevin.
I would say there are people who predicted that the second fantasy became essentially the cash cow that it was for these leagues, that there was a danger to this. The other part of this is if I am someone who partook in a particular profession and I'm sitting in prison because of my RICO charges, I'm going to be really angry because what Disney is trying to do in lockstep with these other leagues is far worse than what the Italian mafia has done.
Okay,
they are corporatizing crime and getting the government to sign off on it.
Okay, well, I'm going to make some of you angry on here, but Disney has been polling their fans about gambling for 2 decades.
Absolutely, yeah.
Disney Research has been asking people who visit the parks or go on a cruise or are just somebody who super loves Disney, whether or not it's okay to get involved in betting. Not that they ever would put a casino on a cruise ship, but, how about the Magic Kingdom Sportsbook, which we've talked about before? I really don't have any faith in Disney being able to control this, and I don't think any of these leagues should be in bed with Disney. I just don't.
No, you can't have it on both sides of this. You can't be the commentator, you can't be the provider, the distributor, and you're cashing in on people, screwing up on the bet.
I'm just thinking of Trader Sam's, Grog's Grotto, and Sportsbook.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just picturing the heads,
Yeah.
And look, maybe that's why they ruined Jungle Cruise, because they knew they'd be compared to Trader Sam. I don't know, but this is clearly in the country's worst interest. So, I'm glad right now the decision will be made in the next 2 years, because I don't think anybody's going to go forward with this. And I feel like Disney bet the house, Pro. on something that anybody paying attention right now is going to say no to.
Well, the real thing they have to worry about is how far does this now go, right?
Oh, man.
Who's going to get caught up in this next? Could we actually see a commissioner of a league either investigated or arrested by the FBI?
It's very possible.
Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day because sharing time with you is a great honor and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet. That's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.